Okay, good day again. And our next topic is about factor theorem. Factor theorem is the continuation topic of the remainder theorem. Okay, and let's discuss the factor theorem first. And it states that if f of x is a non-zero polynomial and f of c is equal to 0, then based on our discussion earlier, f of c is the remainder when we divide f of x by x minus c, and the remainder is 0. Then x minus c is a factor of f of x. So ang gustong sabihin ng factor theorem at pag dinivide natin siya by x minus c at ang result natin ay 0, again, ang result ay 0 or ang remainder ay 0, then x minus c is a factor of the given polynomial f of x. Okay, ulitin natin. Pag ang f of x ay non-zero polynomial at dinivide natin siya by x minus c, at ang nakuha natin na remainder ay 0 using remainder theorem or whatever method we use to find the remainder, then pag ang remainder ay factor siya ni f of x. Okay? So I hope malinaw yung factor theorem. Now let's have examples for this factor theorem. Okay, example number 1, if f of x is a quadratic polynomial, okay, and f of 1 is equal to 0, and f of negative 2 equals 0, then what are the factors of f of x? Ayan. So, si f of x ay isang quadratic polynomial. When we say quadratic polynomial, it is a polynomial with a degree of 2. Okay? The highest exponent is 2. A polynomial with degree of 2. And tingnan natin to. Ang gusto mong sabihin nito ay, based sa previous topic natin na remainder theorem, this is the remainder. Okay, siya yung remainder. Oh, sorry. Siya yung remainder. Ito ang remainder natin. Ayan. Ang nagiging remainder siya when we divide a polynomial f of x by x plus 1. Tapos ito din, f of negative 2 is equal to 0. So, ang gusto sabihin nito, remainder din si 0. Diba? Remainder is 0, remainder is 0. Paano siya naging remainder? When we divide this by x minus 1, and ito naman, when we divide f by x plus 2. Correct? So, since naging remainder siya, at ang result niya ay 0, sabi ng factor theorem, we could say that x minus 1 and x plus 2 are factors of the polynomial f of x. Okay? So, which means that if we have f of 1 is equal to 0, ang gustong sabihin nito ay si f of x ay dinivide ng x ng x minus 1. Okay? And since 0 yung kinalabasan niya, therefore, x minus 1 ay factor ni f of x. Pag sinabi nating factor, isa siya sa mga factors. Okay? Pag sinimplify natin or finactorize natin yung f of x, isa siya sa mga factors ng function ng f of x. Okay? Now, punta naman tayo sa pangalawa. So, f of negative 2 is equal to 0. So, ang gusto sabihin nito, pag sinubstitute natin or dinivide natin si f of x ng x minus negative 2, ang kalalabasan na remainder ay 0. And sabi ni factor theorem, pag ang kinalabasan ng remainder ay 0, then eto, yung monomial na dinivide natin sa kanya ay nagiging factor siya ng polynomial. So magiging x plus 2 ay factor din ni f of x. Okay? So, ano bang gustong sabihin ng factor na yan. Okay, eto na. Since factors tong dalawa, pwede nating isulat na f of x is equal to x minus 1 times x plus 2. Okay? Since factors silang dalawa. Alright? Now, sabi dito, quadratic polynomial si f of x, which means ang highest degree niya ay 2. So therefore, pag minultiply natin to, magkakaroon tayo ng x square. Diba? So therefore, eto na yung dalawa ang factors ng polynomial function f of x. Wala nang iba. Pero hindi natin alam kung ano yung coefficient ni x square. Kaya kailangan natin lagyan ng a dito. Okay? Where a is not equal to 0. Okay? So, since ang hinahanap lang naman ay factors, pwede nating sabihin na ang factors ay x minus 1 at x plus 2. Nakuha? Okay? I hope malinaw yon. Alright? So, tandaan natin, pag ang remainder ng function when divided by a certain monomial ay 0, it means factor siya. When you say factor, it is one of the, how do you say it? It's once we factorize the given polynomial, it's one of the factors. Or ang gustong sabihin din niya ay, okay, the reverse of the factor theorem or the converse of the factor theorem, pag 0 to or kung factor siya, then pag sinubstitute natin yung value ng x or pag sinubstitute natin tong number na to like 1, ito naman ay negative 2, sa f of x, ang result ay 0. Which means the remainder is 0. Okay? So, tingnan natin sa example na to. So, let's read. Determine if x minus 2 is a factor of the polynomial f of x. Ganyan. Okay. Ayan. So, determine daw natin kung factor to, si x minus 2. Paano nga natin masasabing factor siya ng isang polynomial? Okay. Balikan natin si factor theorem. Balikan natin si factor theorem. And sabi ni factor theorem, masasabi lang natin siyang factor if the remainder, when f of x is divided by x minus c, ang remainder niya ay 0. Okay? So kukunin muna natin yung value ng x when x minus c is 0, substitute natin sa x's ni f, tapos pag ang result ay 0, factor siya. Otherwise, kung hindi siya 0, malamang hindi na siya factor. Okay, let's try doing that here. Okay, in example number 2. So, gawin natin ay, ang step number 1 dito ay, step number 1, kumbaga class, ito yung magiging divisor natin. Okay, dito. So, magiging x minus 2 equals 0. Solve for x. So, x is equal to 2. Sorry, that's equals. Ayan. Yellow. Okay, so this is equal sign. Okay, so xi equals 2. So step number 2 naman, isa-substitute natin ang value ng x sa given f of x or polynomial. So that's f of 2. Okay? Sabi natin, pag ang remainder ay 0, then factor. If the remainder is not equal to 0, then not a factor. Tandaan yan, ha? Okay, so dito, tingnan natin. Ano bang gustong sabihin nito? This is the remainder theorem, di ba? Yung discussion natin kanina. And it only means that we're going to substitute 2 to all of the x's of the given polynomial f. Okay? So, paano natin siya sasagutin or isosolve? Ito na. So, f of 2 is equal to, ang f natin ay ito. Pinalitan natin si x dito ng 2, so therefore, lahat ng x's dito ay papalitan din natin ng 2. So, magiging siyang 2 raised to 2 minus 5 times 2 plus 6. Ayan, so magiging siyang 4 minus 10 plus 6. Mangyayari ay 4 minus 10 ay negative 6 plus 6 ay 0. So, ang remainder niya ay 0. And ano nga ba ang sabi ng factor theorem? Sabi ng factor theorem, okay, balikan natin. Pag ang remainder ay 0, then si x minus c ay factor. Diba? Okay. Ayan. So, balikan natin. Since f of 2 is equal to 0 or the remainder is 0, then babalik tayo dito. Okay? Yung given monomial. Then, x minus 2 is a factor of f of x, which is equal to this. Okay? So, nakahanap na tayo ng factors ng given polynomial. Nakuha? Okay. I hope nakuha yan. So, let's deal with more examples. Okay, eto. Tingnan natin. So, para matry natin itong natutunan, naintindihan, try to answer this on your own and pause the video. And once you have the answer, play the video and check whether our answers are the same. Okay? So, let's start solving this. Our step number 1 is x plus 2 and equate natin sa 0 para makuha natin si x. X is equal to negative 2. Okay? And step number 2 natin ay substitute natin itong x na to, which is negative 2, to f of x. Sorry, to the x of f of x. F of negative 2. Ayan. Now, i-try natin, i-check natin kung si x plus 2 daw ba ay factor ng polynomial o hindi. Kailan nga natin malalaman kung factor ito? Magiging factor siya if the remainder is 0. Okay? Otherwise, hindi na siya factor. Kung ang remainder niya ay hindi 0, hindi siya factor ng f of x. So, substitute na natin. So, magiging siyang f of negative 2. Ano ba yung f natin? Ito. So, substitute natin yung negative 2 sa lahat ng x's ni f. Okay, so magiging siyang 2 times negative 2 raised to 3 minus 3 times 2 raised to 2, or this is negative, minus 5 times negative 2. Okay, and let's simplify. This is 2 times negative 2 cubed, that's negative 8. Negative 3, negative 2 squared, that's 4. Negative 5 times negative 2, this is 10, positive 10. And let's simplify. So f of negative 2 is equal to, okay, 2 times negative 8, that's negative 16. Negative 3 times 4, that's negative 12, plus 10. Okay, so this becomes negative 28 plus 10. This is equal to negative 18. So f of negative 2 is negative 18. Negative 18 is not equal to 0. So therefore, since hindi siya 0, sabi natin magiging factor lang siya kung ang remainder ay 0. Since hindi siya 0, therefore we could say that x plus 2, sorry, let's okay, write our final answer, our conclusion. Okay, well, let's use white. Okay, since the remainder of f of x when divided by x plus 2 is negative 18, which is not equal to 0, then x plus 2 is not a factor of f of x. This one. Okay, so which means, guys, once we factor this out, this expression, this trinomial here, we won't get a factor of x plus 2. All right, bakit? Kasi the remainder is not equal to 0 when f of negative 2, or when x is equal to negative 2 is substituted to all of the x's in f. Okay? All right, I hope we got the same answer. Okay, and let's have example number 4. Here we go. So So determine if x minus 3 is a factor. Okay. So i-determine natin kung factor ba siya o hindi. Ayan. So how do we do this? Same thing that we did before. We're going to do step number, oops. We're going to do step number 1. Okay, let me just erase. Oops. Okay, so step number 1. Our step number 1 is we're going to equate the given monomial or binomial, sorry, by 0 or to 0. So, and solve for x. X is equal to 2. And step number 2, we're going to get the remainder when f of x is divided by x minus 3. So para makuha natin yung remainder when f of x divided by x minus 3, we're just going to apply the remainder theorem. And how do we do that? We're just going to substitute the value of x to the x's of f of x, which means f of 2. Okay? F of 2. So therefore, once we found out that this is equal to 0, then it is a factor. Right? If it's not equal to 0, it's not a factor. Okay? So that's what we're trying to show here. Okay, let me erase this because we haven't shown or we haven't found the value of f of 2 yet. So let's solve it first. So here, f of 2 is equal to, again, substitute 2 to all of the x's in the f of x. So that's 2, 4 plus 3, 2 cubed minus 13, 2 square minus 15 times 2. All right, and let's simplify. What is 2 raised to 4? That's 16. Plus 3, what is 2 cubed? That's 8 minus 13. What is 2 squared? That's 4. And what is negative 15 times 2? That's negative 30. Okay, and let's move on to the next space to solve for or to simplify the expression. Okay, so we have f of 2 is equal to 16 plus what is 3 times 8? 24. Negative 13 times 4, that's negative 52 minus 30. There we go. So this is 40 minus 52 minus 30, negative 52 minus 30, that's 82. Negative 82. And 40 minus 82, that's negative 42. So f of 2 is equal to negative 42. And negative 42 is not equal to 0. So what can we conclude? We can conclude that, okay, since the remainder of f of x when divided by x minus 3 is not equal to 0, then we could say that x minus 3 is not a factor of f of x, right? So let's write it down. Our final answer is since f of 2 is not equal to 0, then the binomial x minus 3 is not a factor of f of x, which is equal to this. Okay, so once we factorize this f of x, all right, now we won't get a factor of x minus 3. That's what it means by factor theorem. Okay, and I made 4 items as your exercises as well for under factor theorem topic. And you need to determine if the given, oh, this is not a monomial, this is a binomial, all right? Binomial. Okay, a binomial, okay? And when we divide p of x by this, we need to check if the result is 0 or not. If it's 0, then it's a factor. If it's not equal to 0, then it is not a factor, okay? So we need to get the remainder in short by using remainder theorem, all right? So p of x divided by this binomial. Okay? Okay, so I hope there are no questions. This is wrong. Okay, so if you have some questions, then just post it as a comment under this video. Thank you.